Hello, you have found this page because you probably were a victim of Judge Michael Snipes of Dallas, Texas. Welcome to Texas Justice Review. My name is Serrano Keith Balvio. I created this video specifically to look for people who have been a victim of Judge Michael Snipes in Dallas, Texas, and other judges as well. I myself was a victim of this judge. I'm not just a publisher. I'm not just an advocate for victims' rights. I was also a victim of this judge. And most of what he did was against the law, against the rules of court, violating federal law. So I know what this man is capable of doing. By doing a tag on Judge Michael Snipes' name, I was able to find 3 more victims of Judge Michael Snipes. 3 more victims. See, I thought I was alone. I thought what he did to me, he just did it to me because he was basically upset with me and he wanted to teach me a lesson. Unfortunately, he's been doing it to other minorities specifically as well. So if you're minority, or if you happen to be Caucasian, but I have a feeling that Judge Michael Snipes was targeting minorities mostly. So I tag his name. I do hashtag Judge Michael Snipes when I did my other videos. And I also did a at Judge Michael Snipes. And that is how the 3 other victims were able to find me. So if you found this video, it's because I'm doing the same thing. Because I know if he's got more victims, they are out there. And those victims will search his name, if they're smart, to see whether or not he's out there doing it to other people, and yes, he is. Now, what I heard from one of the victims who contacted the Department of Justice is that he's not allowed as of January to practice in Dallas, Texas. I'm not sure how true that is, but when my ex's attorney tried to remove their names from her case, it didn't go back to Michael Snipes, it went to another judge. So I'm assuming this is correct. And that person found me because of the hashtag. And you found me also because of the hashtag that I did on Judge Michael Snipes. And other judges, I'm not just looking for Judge Michael Snipes because that would be kind of like self-serving, but I do want to form a coalition for all the judges starting in Dallas, Texas, who are abusing their power. When the judge gets upset, they make you pay for it. That has got to be challenged, and that has got to be changed and removed. And these judges who punish you because they're upset with you, setting aside the rules of court, the code of judicial conduct as outlined by the state of Texas, and the law, these judges are committing criminal acts. As in the case of Judge Rosie Speedling Gonzalez in Baxter County, she got upset with a lawyer, a new lawyer, a young lawyer, and decided she was going to personally take it out on that lawyer because she didn't like the way the lawyer was speaking, because she didn't like being challenged by the lawyer, and she handcuffed that lawyer. Well, a lot of people get handcuffed in court, not physically handcuffed, but orally handcuffed. The abuse is there. You just have to find it and point it out. Now, if a judge makes a ruling based on laws and facts and the ruling is wrong, that is an appellate issue. We don't deal with those issues. We'll help you and to guide you through the appellate court. But we're going to examine each case by case. So far, we've got 4 victims of Judge Michael Snipes in Dallas, Texas. I personally reported this to the chief Republican, I want to say he's a rhino judge, Ray Wheless. He was appointed by Judge Craig Abbott to be the chief judge in Dallas to watch over these judges, but instead he's been defending the Democratic liberal judges and protecting them. And I'm not sure if the governor knows about this, but that is what he's doing. Everybody says they're Republican until they have to act like one. So Judge Ray Wheless, the chief administrative judge, has been protecting the judges in Dallas. But he's not the only one. The district attorney's office in Dallas County is also protecting the judges. I took the criminal complaint of Judge Michael Snipes for abuse, malicious prosecution, and malicious oppression And the prosecutor in Dallas District County told me that because he worked for us, we're going to give him a free pass. He gets to commit the crime that he's going to commit. I even suggested that the case be sent outside of Dallas, and because they were a friend of his, they kept the case and buried it to protect him. I have done 5 more recusals on the record, warning Judge Michael Snipes to get off the case because of the abuse of power, malicious prosecution, official misconduct, official oppression, and he refused to recuse himself because he's protected by the Dallas DA's office and because he's protected by the chief Republican judge. Now, Judge Michael Snipes is a hardcore liberal. His roots go back and way into the deep parts of the Democratic Party during the Jim Crow days where there was segregation, and he was part of that segregation. And perhaps I think that's why most of his victims are minorities. But like I said, if you are not a minority and he's abused his power over you, just because you upset him, he's the kind of judge, when he gets upset, he takes it out on you. There is no more law, there's no rule of court, and there's no rule of judicial conduct because he feels that he has a free, get out of jail free card. When I went through other judges, Michael Snipes, he's a senior judge. He called up other judges and influenced them to send back cases, judicial tort case, to family court. So there are other judges involved. If you have an issue with another judge that is biased, prejudiced, there's clear evidence of it, and you don't know it because once they get upset with you, they take it out on you. I've been in the news business for over 2 decades. I've been through many court cases covering it as a publisher. And there is only one judge that I've found by the name of Mangiato in Passaic County, New Jersey. Mangiato hated the news media. Mangiato despised the news media. When he found out that I was the president of a news media, he hated me. But I was sued for defamation by a cop who was bullying the community. Even her own officers contacted me and said she was just a destructive cop. And I published it, and she sued me, the one before Judge Mangiato. I called her a Hitler cop. I called her a bully cop. And she said that was defamation. Judge Mangiato hated me because I was a publisher, not personally because of who I was. But Judge Mangiato ruled on the law. He said, as much as I don't like his language, as much as I don't like him calling her a Hitler cop because of the history of that, I still can't see the defamation in it, and I still can't rule against him because the freedom of the press is his right to identify what he feels she's doing. That's the only judge I have ever experienced that kept his emotions out of his ruling. But most of these judges, when you upset them, and I'll call some names, Judge Leona Bernard, she gets upset. Judge Kim Brown, she gets upset. Judge Stacey Williams, she gets upset. And when these judges get upset, they're ruled by their anger, and it morphs into bias and prejudice, and that is what we're looking to stop. So whether it's Judge Michael Snipes or whether it's any judge in Dallas County, you can report it to us to keep a record of it so we can collect it and report it to the right authorities. Only the FBI and the Department of Justice will take the appropriate action. The district attorney won't, the chief justice judge won't, and these judges are protected under them. My email address is texasjusticereview@gmail.com. Make sure you CC Dallas Pulse News @gmail.com. Dallas PULSE News @gmail.com. The third victim of Judge Michael Snipes sent me a communication 2 months ago, and I didn't get it because I didn't check Texas Justice Review in time, but now I'm doing it. So again, if you have an issue with these judges in Dallas, Texas, where we're starting, and it's not just a bad ruling, but it's a clear prejudice, and you know it when the judge gets angry. It starts, there's the seed, and then the ruling goes against you. Please report it to me. And if you want to join us, if you're marketing and website designing, or you do any kind of administrative work, join us as we start this new organization to hold these judges accountable, especially in family court, where men are suffering and children are ripped away from them. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.